All right, hello to everyone. Thank you so much for jumping on today. My name is Will Henke. My company is Window Treatment Marketing Pros. Today we are going to do some website critiques, which I'm pretty excited about. I always enjoy doing these. There's always a nice variety of websites and some things that are going well, some things that are not. It's nice to be able just to show you some tips that can help you grow your website, grow your business bigger, that kind of stuff. So again, thank you for jumping on. A couple quick little pieces of housekeeping. If you have not received a copy of my book, I do have some more. I got a small stack of them here that I can ship out this week. If you want that, I'll send it to you free at just go to my website, wtmarketingpros.com/book. Plug your information in there and I'll get one in the mail to you right away. If you haven't got one of those books, make sure you get that. I'm actually working on another one as well. It's going to be a lot bigger. I think this one is around, let's see, 74 pages. The new one is probably going to be closer to 200. So tons more information, but this one's really good. It's got a lot of stuff to get you going. So make sure you get that. Secondly, this is one of our monthly training webinars. And we do these every single month. I'm going to share my screen here and let's see if I could do this. All right, there we go. So every month we do ongoing training and you can get all of that information right here under the Learn tab from our website, WT Marketing Pros, free monthly training. Of course, if you're on our newsletter list, you're going to get alerted every time that we announce a new one, which of course this is today's. So this will all change. You can also get a bunch of our past trainings that we've done. All of these are available to watch. So there's a lot of information out there on, as you see, everything from your COVID-19 action plan, controlling your online reputation, leveraging Google pay-per-click, and of course, SEO success, things like that. So lots of things out there that you can also take advantage of. Plenty of training, and every month we are having new training popping up. So that's at the website there under the Learn tab. Also, the podcasts. I started a new podcast about 2 months ago, and we've had some fantastic interviews with people in and out of the window treatment awning industry. Some are just experts in different areas like productivity, but we've also got somebody who owns a drapery place, and this is Alicia, who has an app for drapery and stuff like that. So check that out. That again is at the website under the Learn tab. It says podcast. The podcast is called Marketing Pains. And we have more episodes of that coming. If you would like to be interviewed on one of the podcast episodes, I would love for you to volunteer to do that. And you can actually do that from our website as well, right down here at the bottom. Join in on the fun, want to be a guest on an upcoming episode, just click that, fill it out, and we will be in contact with you. Would love to interview different business owners in different areas and what's working for them, what's not working for them, and just share the love with all your peers across the country. So, okay, last thing, if you are on today's webinar live and you did not submit your website, but you would like me to pull it up and give it a critique near the end, plug it into the chat, plug your link into the chat, and I'll try to get to any of those that pop up there as well. I do have a couple to go through, of course, but I want to make sure that if I have time, that I can get to other ones as well. So, all right, so we are going to. Okay, I'm not worried about Facebook. Thank you. Let's jump over to the first website, and it said that I started a Facebook Live, but it ended, so that's okay. I'm not worried about it too much. Okay, let's jump over to the first site. So the first site here is Jamie Terrell's, and I think Jamie is on here today. So Jamie, thank you for joining in. I appreciate it. And she says she's biting her nails. Don't be nervous, okay? I'll be nice. Okay, here's Jamie's website. Now, one thing that Jamie did was she actually gave me a different link, and I'm going to guess, and she can tell us in the chat here. She gave us this link, Workroom Creations by Jamie. When I go to that, obviously it forwards to this. So I'm assuming that she had a link. This is a new link, and that this site is fairly new. I did want to do something called a site colon search in Google. So let me do that. And let me know if you guys can't see my window, by the way, because I'm bouncing around here. So I want to do site colon, and then I'm going to get rid of all the HTTPS stuff and just put in the domain. So site colon workroom creations by Jamie, and I'm going to hit enter. So that site, according to Google, still exists, which is kind of interesting. It is being indexed. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on something other than the home page and see if I still get redirected. Okay, I do. So I'm still getting redirected. So Jamie, you can tell me, but I'm assuming the new site is jamieterrell.com, and this is your old site. And it looks like the redirects are in place. So I'm going to click on services, see if I end up on the services page. I do. Okay. So I'm not sure if this was recent that you made this change, or if something's a little wonky with Google, but I did want to point that out first of all. Google still thinks that this website exists, although when I go to anything, it seems to be dumping me over to this other domain. Yeah, so no, I don't have a new site, and it must be something within Squarespace. Okay, so something has changed in that system recently, because everything is forwarding me to the Jamie Terrell login, or sorry, domain. Not a huge issue, but if Workroom Creations by Jamie.com has years of authority and it's been around for a while, then you need to make sure that if you want it to redirect to the new site, that's fine, but make sure that everything is in place correctly so that you get all that back authority that you had. So that is definitely something worth looking into if you're not sure why it's doing that. Worth looking into. So I'm glad I pulled that up. And by the way, all I did was site colon and then a domain. This is a great little tool that you can do to check on your competitors and see what they're up to, what new content they're creating, all that kind of stuff, and just what Google thinks about their website in general, which is nice. So, okay. So here's the home page. One of the first things I notice is that it's secure. That's fantastic. I do see that when I scroll that the top navigation does not stick, and that's not a huge issue. However, one of the big things that it solves when that happens is that no matter where I'm at on a page, if there is that top navigation up here, I've always got something to do, and your phone number is always available, right? So if I come here, I read some of this stuff, read some of this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'd really like to work with Jamie. Well, you know, there's no obvious next step. Maybe there is here, get in touch, but I don't need to add friction to, or you don't need to add friction to the fact that somebody wants to engage with you, right? So having that sticky navigation with that phone number is really going to help. And we're actually going to see this recurring theme across a couple of these today. So also, I would make this phone number a lot bigger, a lot bolder, whatever you can do to make it more obvious, because there are times when people come to a site purely just to contact you, right? Or they just look at what's here and they say, yeah, this is who I need, and they call, right? Also mobile devices. If somebody comes here from mobile, they are very less likely to go through all of this and they really just want to engage, call, ask a question, that kind of stuff. So make sure this phone number is purely obvious, even to the point where I would consider getting rid of the social icons and put them in the footer and put your phone number over here by itself. Maybe with the search box, maybe not, but have it where it's obvious, easy to see, easy to deal with. So, all right, it does for mobile. Good idea. Okay. All right, next, let me keep with my notes so I don't forget anything. Your title tag, and this is going to be kind of small on your guys' screen, I'm sure, but the tab here at the top, these tabs show what's called your title tag in SEO. And the title tag is one of the most important things when it comes to telling Google what your page is about. So your homepage title tag is Workroom Creations by Jamie LLC, offering custom window covering ... something, right? So you've got your brand, and then you've got a keyword basically, or two, services, products, that kind of stuff. I would argue for your homepage, which is the most important page on your site when you get a site going, that your homepage tag gets straight to the point. Don't talk about your brand. Get straight to custom window covering workroom, custom shades, custom drapes, whatever it is that you do. Get straight to those keywords, especially on the homepage. Because that's the signal you're going to send to Google of what your page is about. So very important that you do that. As far as brand, I typically say only put your brand at the end and only do it for the homepage. So here's the thing. If somebody's typing in draperies in Memphis, right? They're going to maybe find your site, maybe find somebody else's. But if they type in Workroom Creations by Jamie, they already know your brand, right? They are not searching by some sort of query. They're just looking for your brand to probably call you, right? So maybe have that in your homepage, maybe just have it on your page in the footer, something like that. Your brand should be pretty darn easy to find when you type it into Google. Shouldn't be that big of an issue. So use this title tag as a place to send signals to Google for people that don't know your brand. So have things in there like custom window. Well, let's see what you got here. Custom home furnishings, windows, bed, table, outdoor living. All of these are keywords that could be up here in this title tag instead. So, all right, that is it. Talked about not sticky, talked about phone number, kind of hard to see, make it stick out some more. Your buttons. The buttons are great, and I see that they kind of match with the color scheme, but you might want to consider making them not match the color scheme, right? Or make them the purple here or the blue or something like that. What happens is they start to kind of just blend in, right? They blend in with all the other stuff because that color is seen in other places. And one of the big things you want people to do is the obvious next step, right? And these are obvious next step. Get in touch. My inspiration guide. Let me hear from you. So maybe making these a different color that's a little more obvious and doesn't necessarily match everything else that's going on. It doesn't clash totally, but it's definitely going to draw your eye to those things. So the buttons could maybe just use a little, maybe just play with the colors, right? Change it to the blue or something up to here in this thing for a week and see if it starts to get engagement. Then change it to the purple another week and see if it gets more or less, and do some testing around that. All right, next, the inspiration guide. So I love the fact that you have something on your site that people can do to engage with you outside of the phone number. And here's why I love this. My wife, this is going to be a strange example. My wife loves to order pizza online because she doesn't have to deal with a person. She doesn't want to have to pick up the phone and engage with a person. She wants to just do it all on her own, right? So having the ability to order pizza right online, super easy, boop, 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 you know, it shows up at the door 30 minutes later. Same kind of situation here. Not everybody is ready to purchase from you. Some people may just want to test the waters, right? So having something like this inspiration guide, fantastic. You're doing a couple things. You're providing them with some content, some inspiration, right? At the same time, you're gathering their email address. So you're building your list of people that have raised their hand that want to hear from you. Maybe they don't want to purchase from you for 6 months, but now you are going to have the opportunity to stay top of mind to them, to come across as the subject matter expert to them. So fantastic that you have this inspiration guide. So a couple tips about it. I would say sell it a little bit more on this page. Maybe have a picture of an inspiration guide, or even just a picture of the PDF or whatever it is that the person gets when they download it. You know, maybe blur it just a little bit so they can't just go here and read it and not fill out the form. But put a little bit more information about it. Put a little bit more here other than just, you know, hey, give us your email. You know, sell it a little bit more. Probably would be a good thing. When I fill out that form, it takes me to this thank you page, which is kind of generic. So I would definitely take an opportunity to fix up this page a little bit, have it, you know, have something else here that solidifies the idea that they signed up with you in the first place. We really are the experts. Give them a little bonus, or ask them, you know, hey, since you're here, why don't you go ahead and like our Facebook page, or like me on Instagram, or something like that. This is a good place to do that. I will show you one of my clients. This is Sunshine Drapery. After you set up an appointment, you get this. Your appointment is set up. So there's the acknowledgement there of the transaction, if you will. A little note about when they're going to call you back, that kind of stuff. And then a recent article about the company. So just something to solidify the fact that they made the right choice, right? So your page is a little lacking in that area, all right? So the other thing that I noticed, and this is a little bit strange, and I don't know if it'll happen this time, but after I got to this page, I had a couple choices. Back to the home page, which goes to jamieterrell.com/home. It doesn't actually go just to the domain. It goes to a different home page, which could be an issue because now jamieterrell.com and jamieterrell.com/home are the same content, right? So there might be, well, there is going to be what's called a duplicate content error or penalty with Google, because now there's 2 pages on your site with the exact same content. So I'm not sure why they have this /home. And I think you said that this was built on Squarespace, right? So this might be a function of Squarespace, and there might not be anything you can do about it. This is part of building a website on rented land, if you will. There are some things you don't have the ability to control. So I'm going to remove the domain Jamie Terrell from Squarespace. Okay, so before you do that, let's go the other way around here and make sure that that is not already indexed too. It is, and it's a lot of duplicate stuff. So if they're both exactly the same, then yeah, I definitely would remove one from the other. So you're not getting penalized. As far as the /home, you know, I don't know, like I said, if there's anything you can do about it. The other thing that I noticed when I did this was if, oh, it won't let me do it because I didn't actually fill out the form this time. So the first time I did this, instead of clicking the back to the home page, you know, I really didn't even see that button. I hit the back button. And when I hit the back button, it brought me back to this page, but the header was gone. So there was nowhere for me to go. The footer was gone down here. It was really strange. And I had a hard time navigating the site until I hit the refresh button. So you don't expect people to hit that back button, I know, but people like me might, you know, or other people might. They might not see that back to the home button right there. So again, might be just a weird functionality of the way Squarespace did it. But I actually had taken some notes about why are your header and footer gone. And then I realized I think it was just some sort of weird quirk that happened. So anyway, all right. Let's see if there's anything else. Contact me at, okay, that's a phone number. That's great. Some other information about you. Lots of information about you. That's good. I do like that you have the map embedded on your page. I think that's great. Okay, so let's talk about some things off of your website. This is a tool called GT Metrics, and it just gives you a score on your speed of your website. And you scored a 69 on page speed. Y Slow, which is another company, gave you an E, which is interesting, 59, but slow. And this is, again, probably part of Squarespace. They have a lot of websites on a server. So having that being a little bit more unique, maybe, well, so you can't move this site anywhere else. It's part of Squarespace. Probably the only way you could fix this is to get a WordPress type website where you own it. You can move the hosting, you can get a faster host, that kind of stuff. So there's probably not a whole lot you can do about it, but Google is judging you on the slowness of your site. As far as mobile friendly, it did come up mobile friendly. You'll see that some things get cut off. When I did it on my phone, it actually cut this blue thing off a little bit too. And I think it started with like bed, table, and outdoor living areas, which was a little weird. But it just kind of cut some of that off, looked a little strange. But overall, page is mobile friendly. That's good, real good. Here's a link that you can click, and I will send you all of these links. Page loading issues, and it tells you all kinds of nerdy stuff that you can fix. And some of that you can fix, some of that with Squarespace you might not be able to. All right, contact page. I did want to mention this. You have on here name, email, phone, message. That's great, nice and short. The more fields that are on a contact page, the less likely people are to fill it out. So good that you kept this short. I'm a homeowner interested in beginning a project, or I am an interior designer interested in working with you. So I know that you want to target designers. It would probably be very much worth you actually adding a page to your main navigation specifically about designers, so that they don't have to kind of go through and find that. Those people have a certain criteria, certain information that they need from you, right? And they might not need all this other stuff that somebody with just a residential place that wants to hire you to come in and do something would need, right? The designers, they want to just get straight to it. So maybe have a designer's option up here as well that says, here's what we do, here's where we're located, and here's how to contact us, short and sweet. I think that would be really good. You could still have both of these check boxes here, but I think for designers, since you're wanting to attract them, having information specifically for them on a separate page on the site would probably be good and would probably serve you well. All right, let's see, go back to the home page, 3/4 of the way down. Again, you're making them search for this, right? If you're a designer, that's fine. But they have to read all this to get to find that section, which they might not, right? A lot of people, a lot of humans tend to just kind of cruise through pages and kind of grab, look at the different headlines, things like that. So I would argue not everybody's reading all of the content on your page. So, have that, yeah. Have something like this on a separate page, and then, anything else that they need. Here's a couple projects we've worked on with designers. Here's our service area, that kind of stuff. All right. Services page. On the services page, your title is "We serve North Harris County near Klein Cypress, Jersey Village." So again, consider redoing that as window treatment or window treatment workroom in Houston, Texas, something like that, right? I see this a lot, and I'm not sure why, but a lot of companies, a lot of websites have what counties they service. But as a searcher, very rarely does anybody ever say, you know, window treatments Jefferson County, window treatments Harris County. Very rarely do they do that. Most likely they're going to use the city, the largest metropolitan area that they're near, or they're going to say something like window treatments near me, which again needs to be optimized on your site to mention that you are, you know, in Houston, that you are in this particular town, that kind of stuff throughout the site. I did notice that your site does not really mention Houston hardly at all. So you're never going to rank for Houston related terms because you're not telling Google that's where you're at. So, so I did want to mention that. And then on the services, am I still on services? Yeah. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier, right? But I would be a little bit careful doing something like this because there have been updates to Google's algorithm where they are penalizing people who are doing this spammy kind of stuff, if I can say that without upsetting you. But just be careful with just listing out all the different towns that you work in, that kind of stuff. A better way to do this would actually be to build a page, Livingston window treatment workroom, and have a page that's specifically about Livingston and some of the landmarks that are in that area, things like that, and just talk specifically about that. And then redo it for Cold Spring, Texas, and have, you know, information. Here's what we did. Here's a couple projects we did in this town, that kind of stuff. And then, of course, you could put the matching zip code on that page. That would probably be a little bit better to go. You know, it depends on, obviously, how much time you have and how much effort you want to put into this. But the best way to do it would be to build a page for each one of these places. The other nice thing about that is if I'm typing in window treatments, Livingston, Texas, and I land on your Livingston, Texas window treatments page, I mean, I know I'm in the right place, right? It's perfect. It's like, okay, yep, these are obviously local people. This is a page about it. It mentions the college. It mentions the statue. You know, okay, you know, this is a company that I probably want to work with. And maybe they'll never even visit your homepage because they landed on that page that matched what their query was in the first place. So, all right. That's okay. I can take this off. I did it for the keywords. That's fine. I understand, but you're diluting your efforts, you know, across all these on one page. It'd be better to build individual pages for each, which of course is more work, right? Okay. Lastly, I did want to look at my tool. This is called Ahrefs. It's an SEO tool that I use, and I put in your URL here, and just got a little information about that. Overall, you have 52 backlinks to your site. I wouldn't be surprised if most of these were your other domain. Nope. So here, that's us. We're linking to you. Virtual WCA virtual chapters linking to you. Looks like in a couple places. Wow, a lot of places. That's great. You guys are listed in a ton of places. See if there's any other links back to you. Here's your workroom creations by Jamie, which is a redirect to your site. So overall, you have a decent amount of backlinks. However, those 52 backlinks are only coming from 3 different domains. So in a perfect world, you want 52 here. That'll never happen, right? Because the WCAA, for instance, they listed you on 20 different pages. So one referring domain, 20 links in that case, right? So that's okay, but you want to keep these as close as possible as you can, and it's nearly impossible to do. The other thing I want to show you is you're only ranking in all of Google for 2 different keywords, and those keywords are probably not going to help you. They're curtains and soft furnishings resource library, which you're in position 29, so that's page 3 of Google, position 9, and Lift Wand Pro, you're in position 92, so basically the 10th page of Google. So those are the only 2 terms that you're ranking for. You're not ranking for any local terms, anything like that. Again, a lot of that is probably because you're not mentioning Houston and some things in your title tags and throughout your content, things like that. So you're not ranking for anything. You're not going to get a lot of traffic to your site, which is a bummer. The other thing I noticed here is that this huge spike, this tells me that most likely that change to that other domain, for however that happened, for whatever reason, just happened recently. And basically that Jamie Terrell has no history backwards from here. So that needs to be fixed for sure. So, all right, that is it for Jamie's site. Jamie, thank you for jumping on and letting me demolish your site today. I hope I wasn't too terribly mean. I did also create this worksheet, which I call my SERPs worksheet. But basically, it gives you every link on your page, that page's title, that page's description, and that page's heading tag, main heading tag. And you can see that some of these are good, some of these are bad, some of these are repetitive, like welcome to my blog, things like that. So I will share this with you as well. All right, next, let's go to Robin's site and look at it. So you're welcome, Jamie. All right, so Robin, I think you're on here as well today, so thank you for jumping on. This is, here's Robin's comments so that I don't sound like such a mean person. If you want an example of a really awful website, use mine. I need help. As far as leads, I think I've gotten one the whole time my website has been in existence, which is many years. So, okay, probably gonna have to fix that, right? This internet fad is probably gonna stick around for a while, so it might be a good time to upgrade. So with that in mind, you know that it's not the best site in the world. It's also very short. That's it. So the first thing I notice is that when you gave me this www.seemssoright.com, and when I go to that, it dumps me to this page, which is a default hosting, Windows hosting page. Kind of crazy, right? And what happened is it's the www that's doing that, and I'm not sure why it's doing that, but it is. If I go to your site without the W's, the site goes to the right place. It still redirects to a Wix site address, but it comes up. So something's a little wacky about that www version of your domain. It's not set up correctly, so that's a little weird. Okay, again, no sticky header. So when I scroll, nothing sticks to the top here except for this ad from Wix, which is not great. I would assume this site is probably very cost effective, and that is part of the reason why they're sticking that up there. That's probably part of the agreement that you can have that up there in exchange for very little monthly cost, I think. Yeah, Robin, that's what you get for free. So, okay. So that's okay. It's probably a good foundation, good first step, right? Another thing that I notice, again, no phone number at the top. So if they are familiar with your brand and they want to type it in and they just want to contact you, no obvious thing to do, we can go to the contact us page. And now I got your phone number, but you should reduce friction where you can, right? Don't make them go look for your page. While I'm on this page, I did click on the Facebook link and nothing happens earlier. I'm not sure why, but that link isn't working. I do see copyright 2012, so you might want to at least make it 2018, 2020, something like that, so it doesn't look so abandoned. But let's make sure that you get some phone number up here, something like that. As far as content, again, when you're wanting Google to learn about your website, you have to have content on the page for them to learn, right? They know that there's a picture here. They know that there are pictures here and pictures here, but they can't see those pictures. So you have to tell them information about your business, and that's what you do through copy. So at a minimum, I would put a paragraph right here, maybe part of your about us or something here, just what you guys do, where you're located, what you're experts at, that kind of stuff. And then maybe down below, even more of a content about what you guys do, what your specialty is, things like that. And I'll show you the sunshine one that I mentioned on Jamie's earlier. We have some decent content here, but then we have this, this nice little, whatever this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs of content that, of course, has the words in it that we want to send to Google. There's fabrics, draperies, soft valances, reupholstery is something else they do. So kind of mentioning all those things, as well as linking to those internal pages on the site. So more content would be fantastic. On your services page, again, a little bit more content, which is good. I would be a little careful of using soft furnishings. I don't know how many people know that outside of the industry. So you might not, I think you repeat that a couple times here. So that is obviously in the industry, everybody knows what that is, but outside, coming from a guy who knows very little about window treatments, or used to know very little, most people are not going to know what that is. So just consider that when make sure that you're using other words as well. Now, if you're talking to designers that you want to engage with, like Jamie does, they're obviously going to know exactly what that is. And those terms on those kind of pages where you're talking to other people in the industry make very much sense. Jamie says, I didn't know the term at all prior to the biz. Yeah, me too. So not a lot of information here. Again, draperies, this would be great to have a draperies page, link to that page. If you had a pillows page, link to the pillows page. Cushions, link to the cushions page, obviously. Build these pages out, because what's going to happen is if somebody types in draperies Memphis, or I'm not sure where you're at, draperies Memphis, that they land on that page. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this, even though your home page is the most important page when you start optimizing everything, it's the page most people are going to land on. Over time, you want the opposite to happen. So in Jamie's example, all those city pages, you want them to land on that specific city page. You want them to land on a specific product page, right? You don't want them to land on the home page and then have to go find what they're looking for. So it starts after a while to kind of reverse, where your home page might be the 8th or 10th most popular page on your site, which is fine, right? It's fine. They're finding what they need. So start to build out the site a little bit more. Well, quite honestly, you're probably going to need to just rebuild the site. There's not a lot of stuff here. You're going to need to invest into really kind of getting this going. All right. So from my same SEO tool, there was not a ton of information here, and you have 4 backlinks from 3 different sites, which is a nice ratio, just a really small number, right? You want these to be in the hundreds or thousands over time. And part of building those backlinks is writing really good content, building specific pages, and then writing blogs that kind of push or give extra foundation to those main cornerstone pages, if you will. So not a ton of information here. You have gained a couple links over time, and we're going to see in the retractable awnings example here, where you can gain links, you can lose links, and you want to keep the blue more than the orange, which is exactly what you're doing. The numbers are just really small. As far as speed, look at that, 93, 95. So speed on Wix is fantastic. It did take 7.4 seconds to load, which is actually a pretty long time, especially for getting such good grades. But the overall page size is very small. So nice from a page speed advantage. However, you're limited on a lot of the things. Again, on Wix, where you're kind of building on rented land, and you don't have 100% control. Your site is, again, mobile friendly. It's a pretty short site because there's not a whole lot on there. But it is mobile friendly. That's fantastic. And as far as pages on your site, there are only 4 pages. So again, this needs to be growing exponentially over time, right? The more pages you have that are specific to specific keywords, the more you're going to be just, first of all, in Google's indexed. And secondly, you're going to have an opportunity to start getting traffic from those pages. So definitely you need more pages in here. Your titles are not great. So services seem so right. So again, services and then brand. I would definitely get rid of the brand on the internal pages. And then I would have this to be, you know, window treatment services, Memphis, or I don't remember where you're at. But whatever that is, you know, start to have some of those words in here. So because those words don't exist, that's probably why you're not getting any traffic and any leads from that as well. So anyway, again, I will send this to you, and that is it. Let's see. Jamie says, I didn't know the term. Okay. Could it be her pictures are too large? She has a lot of pictures. I don't think so. I think the pictures are great. And probably for any window treatment company, people love pictures. They love galleries. They love to look at this and say, gosh, I want my room to look like that, which just encourages them to engage with your business, right? These pictures are nice. And you might be missing an opportunity by not putting in some sort of a caption of what this page is about. Children room with pink draperies, you know, something like that. Would at least send a better signal to Google about this particular picture. You meant the size of the pictures in pixels. These pictures are fairly big as far as overall resolution, I guess. But I mean, she's getting good scores here, you know, so if these numbers start to trend downward where pictures are taking longer to load, then I think that would be an issue. But overall, the pictures are great. Again, explain what this is. So purple cornice with Roman shades with whatever those are. Dangly things. I don't know what they're called. I'm sure there's a word for them. I don't know what it is. Instead of 2004, 14, you know, that kind of stuff. So anyway, hopefully that helps you a little bit, Robin, and I will send you this information outside of this. So. All right, next let's go to Retractable Awnings. Now this site is a lot different than the 2 window treatment sites. I think this was Eric that submitted this. So overall, site is secure. The colors are good. Some of them kind of start to blend in here, and part of this could be my monitor is a little lighter than others. Some people might see darker, you know, it might not blend in so much. But that's one thing. Again, no sticky menu at the top, which is a little crazy. You do have phone numbers up here. You have a local, you have a toll free. Love that. You have a search thing here. You have an email subscribe, but no real compelling reason to put my email in there. You know, where Jamie had that inspiration guide, you know, so you're going to get something of value. You know, this is like just saying, hey, give me $10. You know, people value their email address. So just asking for it with no expectation in return other than more advertisements for your business, probably not a lot of people going to fill that out, right? All right, that is that. I need to go find my notes on this. By the way, let's see, he said rebuilt plus or minus 2 or 3 years ago, designed in Slovenia, programmed using Python and Django in Russia and the Ukraine. So he's definitely using overseas virtual assistants, something like that, outsourcing to build the site, which is good and bad. It could be good, could be bad. Django I am familiar with, but only a little bit. All right, again, calls to action. So there is a call to action here, and you can see it's yellow, so it's, you know, it pulls my eye towards it. I love that. There are places on the site where there is no call to action. There is this, Can I click on that? Okay, that just takes me to products. It doesn't really take me to a page that's actually about a sale or something like that. But there are places on the page where there is no call to action. Part of that could be resolved with the sticky menu, with your phone number, things like that up there. Now here's an awning buyer's guide. Well, the words are there. I guess maybe they're just blogs. Awning buyer's guide, and then it just, I guess these are just things that I can choose. So it may be worth grabbing 5 or 6 of these and putting them together into a PDF and offering that as the download up here, offering that as the free download right up here. At least, you know, it'll say, you know, get our free awning purchase guide or something like that. So, all right, let's see. Kick back and chill out. One thing you do have is plenty of content on the page. Lots of empty real estate here, which I see what you're going for, the back and forth here, but that's making the page, you know, longer and longer. And in fact, when you pull this up on mobile, this page goes on forever and ever. That was one of my comments in my notes, that you may want to shorten up the mobile version of this page. You don't need to convince people as much or give them so much stuff. People on mobile, they're not going to go through all this stuff, right? And basically your mobile version of the site is this exact same page, just shrunk down, so you can see how long it gets. So let's see, speed. On the speed, you scored an 81 and then a 67 on why slow. So there are definitely some things that you can do to fix that. There are some redirects on this page. So basically there are some things that you're trying to load on this page that are being redirected elsewhere to load. And I don't know what they are, but I could dig in and probably find out fairly easily. And actually this will probably tell you exactly what those are. It looks like maybe it's just an HTTP versus HTTPS version, and then also the www's tossed in there. So there are some problems there. So let me try. This is www.retractableawnings.com. Let me try it without the W's. All right, I think it actually forwarded me. Okay, it forwarded me correctly, which is good. But you're probably pulling in some pictures or something from non-secure versions, is my guess. So this is interesting. This loaded faster than the other site that was 7.4 seconds, but look at the difference in score. So definitely some things that you can work on with page speed, and page speed is a Google ranking factor. So you definitely want to look at that as something that you can do. Mobile friendly, Google thinks that this is not a mobile friendly site. This could be really detrimental for you because Google has a separate mobile index now. So if your site is not going to show up as mobile friendly, they could actually take your website out of that index, which is 60 to 70% of all people are using mobile devices now. So you could get a huge hit in overall traffic from being removed from that mobile index. So this is, by the way, this is the mobile friendly test. I just type into Google mobile friendly test, and it says, oh, you want to test your page? You plug it in and it gives you this kind of result here. And this is the exact same thing that I saw when I pulled it up. I have an Android because who would have anything else, right? I mean, you got to go with the best, right? So anyway, this is exactly what I saw. So again, a mobile user needs less information, quicker way to products, quicker way to find what they're looking for, and not so much salesy type stuff, right? So there are some things here that you can do to fix those, and Google gives you those. You just click right here, page loading issues, and they will actually tell you all of the things that went right, things that went wrong as well. All right, next, when I put this into Ahrefs, let me go back to Site Explorer. And I'm going to put you into my tool here because there's a couple things. We're going to get a little technical now, but these are important things. And here's the reason I'm going to do this. Your site overall, pretty nice. Obviously, you've been working on it a lot. You know, some of the SEO stuff is done and in place. So at this point, it becomes, we need to get a little bit more technical and figure out what's right and what's wrong with it. So when I put this into to the system, first of all, your Ahrefs rank is 2.3 million. So the way that this works is they start at #1 and they go up. So the closer you can get to 1, the better, right? You want to be the #1 website in the world. Obviously, you're not going to get there, but you're at 2.3 million, which is fantastic. If we looked at the other sites that I went through today, Jamie's, let's see, Jamie was at 58.7 million, and I don't remember where the other one was, but you can see that you guys you're in the top 10 million, which is absolutely fantastic. Again, backlinks to 2,700 backlinks from 341 different domains. So that ratio is, okay. Obviously, you want it to be better, but that's that it is what it is. You're currently ranking for around 6,300 different keywords. So you can see this particular website is in for the real thing. When I look at trending here, I see that today you're down a little bit, not worried about that. Last 7 days, really not worried about that because everything fluctuates. That's the thing. The average over a month, you're up a little bit. And by up 22, it means closer to #1. So it's kind of backwards. But the big one, average over 3 months, is you're down almost 400,000 spots. And you can see this big drop off here where you're starting to trend downward. So that could be if you're not putting up new content, if you're not actively building backlinks, things like that. There are a lot of reasons that happens. It does look like you had 5,400 different links pointing to you back in 13. And then there was kind of a big drop off. And this might be a website redesign that was not done correctly. And then you can see, pretty flat line here, a little bump up here. Don't know what happened here that all of a sudden it jumped. Let's see, that's October of 17 to January of 18. So sometime in that winter period, you must have did something to the site. You saw a nice little bump. Then it just kind of evened out again. And now it's slightly trending downward as far as how many pages are linking to you. So this is what I mentioned earlier on Robbins. You want more blue than you want orange. And you can see here that you are consistently losing more links to your site than you're gaining. Again, this could be because you aren't putting any new content or you're not putting very good content. There are around 4 million blogs published every single day. So there's lots of competition. You have to put out some really good stuff in order to even be in the conversation, right? It could be that you need to hire a PR firm, to start doing a little bit of press release type stuff to get those links out there. But you're consistently losing more than you're gaining, which is definitely something worth looking into. Okay, let's see. Organic keywords movements. This particular tool is one that shows where you were ranking and where you're now ranking. So it's the movements up and down in Google, right? And I pulled a couple of these out that I wanted to show you real quick. First of all, electric awning, you lost that one, but you gained the exact same thing in what we call the featured snippet area. So electric awning, when I do a search for that, the snippet area is this right here. And what's interesting is this is not you. This is Sunsetter for me. So other people are going to see things in different ways, that kind of stuff. But some people are not seeing that. Some people are. And then if I keep cruising down here, then we've got Amazon, we've got Home Depot, we've got People Always Ask. We've got what we call the 3-pack, which is obviously local to me. We have Refined by type, which is really interesting. Then we got Wayfair. And then here you are down here. So you're pretty far down the page, although you're ranking, if we look just at organic results, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're in positions 4 and 5, but pretty far down the page on that. Now, what's really cool is your products page is ranking along with your homepage. So the great thing about that is basically you robbed one of your competitors of a top 10 spot, right? By having 2 spots there, you basically pushed somebody else off the front page, which is great. That means both of these pages are fairly optimized, probably have some decent links coming back to them. So a good situation, but a little bit weird about the snippet there that shows up and the other one shows as lost. Also, retractable patio covers. This one, you were in position 1 and you lost it altogether. And this was an image result. So you were the #1 image result for retractable patio covers and it went away. So I don't know if you blocked your images and now they're not able to be indexed, something like that. And that's not a huge deal, although people, again, do like looking at pictures prior to engaging with a particular company. 24 May retractable patio covers. Yeah, that one, okay, I covered. Search for retractable awnings. I also did a search, yeah, for retractable awnings. And it looks like you guys are #2, right? The #1 result is Home Depot, which sucks, but these guys can be beaten, right? So what I did is I clicked on this result, copied this link, and put it into my tool in this Site Explorer. Because what you can do is you can say, okay, tell me exactly what these guys did or didn't do related to this page so that you can kind of find, you know, holes in the armor, that kind of thing. And you can see that this page isn't moving up, isn't moving down. It's got great authority. It's in the top 1,500 pages. Backlinks, check out the ratio here. It's almost 1-to-1. We'll call it 1 to 1.2, something like that. Great ratio, not a ton of backlinks, but nice ratio there. This one page is ranking for 1,200 different keywords, which is incredible. So part of that is obviously their overall domain authority, brand authority, but lots and lots of people you know, see a lot of different versions of things that they type in to find this page. Now, if we look here, we can see that this page is trending down in a nice little ramp here of referring domains. So some link building on your part could actually pull you ahead of Home Depot in this case. That's probably the biggest piece of armor that's missing, the hole in their armor, I guess you could say. And you can see that when they got this page, they got a ton of backlinks all of a sudden. And then really they haven't done anything since, and all they've been doing is losing links. Similar to what you guys are doing, maybe just on a bigger scale. But, you know, I don't know what happened that caused them to get 485 different links all at once. Could have been a PR campaign of some sort, or launched a new program, you know, I don't know, something that they did. We could probably dig in and find out. But having this kind of one-on-one comparison, what is this link is outranking me? Why is it outranking me? And here are some ideas. Okay, let's see. Broken links. I think you guys only had one broken link. Oh, that's Home Depot. So let me put you guys back in here. There we go. Again, I think there was only one broken link, and it looked like it was to an old award from 2016, so probably worth fixing that. Goes to a page that doesn't exist anymore. So you keep the page where you guys won the award, but don't, you know, have that link going out anymore because it's not going anywhere. Okay, and then on the SERP sheet, like I was showing everyone else, we can see here that there are some issues, and the biggest thing here is, look at all these missing meta descriptions. There are opportunities missed here by not having these filled out. And let me move this over, see what this is. Whoop, I'm doing the wrong thing. Let's move that over. And then your H1 tags, which are your main heading tags for your business. There are some really weird things going on here as well, with some strange characters, some really short heading tags and some pages that just don't even have heading tags. So you do have decent title tags, but missing out on descriptions, and in many cases your heading tag, your main heading tag, is not great. Here's one, backyard awning systems for home. That's a great one. And then it has the pipe and then retractable awnings. I'd probably take that off, as I've mentioned earlier about the branding comments as well. So overall, I hope that helps. We are right on the dot as far as time. I did see one other domain come in. Jacqueline asked me about High Country Design, and I think I've actually talked to them before, but let me copy this and plug it in, and we'll just see what we can find. All right, let's go to the website first. So it's highcountry.design, which is interesting. Good. However, when you are on the phone and you tell somebody to go to that website, a lot of times I can guess they're not going to know that there even is such a thing as .design. They're going to try to put a .com at the end of it or something like that. Not unusual, but just something that you probably have to overcome. So this is a good looking site. It is secure. We see the sticky menu. Don't see a phone number in the sticky menu. I would take those social media things out and add your phone number in, put those down in the footer. As far as a heading tag, check that out. Custom soft furnishings for designers and homeowners. The only thing missing is probably your location. I would put in Montana or wherever you are. I can't remember. I think I talked to Jill about this. Yeah, our lead designer, Jill. Maybe that's who I originally talked to. I don't know. This site looks a lot different than it used to, which is good. Tons of pictures. That might slow down your overall load speed. And then let's see, complimentary consultation. Nice link to request a quote. I can be right here and not really know what to do next. So you might want to have something up here that says set an appointment, something like that. Obviously, I know there's not a ton of room up here, right? So you got to be a little picky. You could get rid of home because it's pretty known nowadays that your logo goes to the home page. So that would give you a little bit more room up there. So let me see here, our process, how we work. Nice title, but again, doesn't talk to location, doesn't have any keywords in it. And your title tag for this page is process high country design. So again, missed opportunity when it comes to keywords. And I understand what you're trying to do. However, if you want Google love, this is what you need to do. So Jacqueline says, yes, Jill. Okay. I thought I talked to her before. So, okay. So this is how we work. Do a phone call, complimentary consultation, and then get a quote. Okay. Ordering, install, satisfaction. You know, what'd be really cool is a graphic here of all 6 steps. Kind of like a sales funnel, but sideways, right? You know, or something even like this. You know, this is pretty typical. What we do in marketing is we say, you know, you got to get people in the funnel, then they become this, then they become this, and they're going through this process. Something like this for you would be really cool too, but sideways instead. I'm going to see if I can't find one here. Something like this, right? Probably a poor example, but have your 6 steps like this. You know, that would be pretty cool, right? Just have it on here as something that I can digest very easily, and I don't have to read all this, and that takes up a ton of room on the page. If I want to learn more about each of these steps, you know, I could read this, but just having that graphic would be like, you know, hey, this is how we do it, and it's nice and easy. All right, let's see, service areas. Again, these are not clickable. So, you know, be worth building out some of these different city pages. And let's see, best to house. I love the trust signals. These are all great. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. That's great. You got your address down here. That's great. So I accidentally clicked on it and wants to email you. That's great. All right. So uh, for homeowners, for the trade, service areas, and process. So this is great. I love this for homeowners, for the trade, similar to what we were talking about with Jamie's site earlier, right? For the trade, this is for your designers. They're going to know exactly, they're going to get the information they need and nothing more. So that's a nice way to do that. For homeowners, okay, I'm a homeowner, so I'm going to click here. Oh yeah, custom window shades, or sorry, Roman shades. That's what I need. And then it just dumps me to the portfolio, and I bet it does that for all of these. Yep, they all go to the same portfolio. Not a horrible bad thing, but it does kind of make me think like, okay, I'm going to go look at Roman shade stuff when I click here. But in reality, all of these are going all to the same place. Okay, let's look at it from my tool, and then I'm going to wrap it up because I'm going a little long here. So let's see, highcountry.design. Plug that into here. $24.8 million, 63 backlinks from 10 different websites. And I bet this is the old site trending downward. You guys launched a new site. Tell me if that's correct, but I bet it is. You guys launched a new site here, and you can see that big jump in overall, and that's why your short-term stuff is a lot better. Your average over 3 months up 13 million spots. That's incredible. And you can see again, old site or original site from around July of 18, and then something major happened, and you're trending upward nicely, gaining more links than you're losing. Although again, the numbers are small, they are there, which is great. Yes, we launched a new site last year. Okay, so that's why this sudden jump here like that. So, so you're on the right track. You're ranking for 128 different keywords. Now, what I would love to see here is stuff related to Georgia, Tennessee. So that one doesn't make sense for any brand. So Mountain View custom blinds, there you go. I don't know where Mountain View's at, but check this out. So this page, which might be a blog, maybe. Yeah, so this is probably a project that you guys did. So this page, because of that, is ranking for Mountain View custom blinds. That's pretty awesome. So do more of that, and that would really help. Let's see if there's anything else. Some of these are pretty generic. What you're really wanting to see here is a lot of this, right? Tennessee custom window treatments, Tennessee, that kind of stuff. I'm not seeing a lot of that. Country Roman shades is a nice one, but if somebody in California is looking for that, you're probably not going to go install it unless it's a millionaire, right? Country style window treatments, again, generic, a good one to rank for overall, but only if you can service the person wherever they happen to be when they're looking for it. So I don't see very many window treatment, keyword plus location, geo-targeted kind of keywords. So that could be the fact that you guys just aren't mentioning your location in a lot of places. Again, here at the end of your header, in Southern Tennessee, or whatever that happens to be, and that would be good. This is nice, but not enough for Google to actually care. It's just content. This H1 tag carries a lot more weight, as does your page titles, which in this case is just home, high country design. That definitely needs to be custom soft furnishings or custom window treatments in Southern Tennessee, or whatever it happens to be. So, all right, I'm not going to spend a lot more time for you guys. I know we've already gone a little bit long, so I appreciate you jumping on today. I appreciate the opportunity to critique a couple sites. Hopefully you guys have learned something. And if you are interested in us going through your site in a little bit more detail, just reach out to me. wtmarketingpros.com/strategy is the best place to do that. Just do a short 15-minute call, chat about your business, and see if there's a way that we can help you. I'd love that opportunity. And thank you so much again. Hope you guys have a great day. Take care.